Welcome. In front of me is a Motorola Razr 7D Ultra, and today I will show you how you can copy contacts from your SIM card to the device. So, to get started, you will want to open up your standalone contacts application, such as this one right over here. And if it pops up with the little window right here, allow contacts to send you notifications, select don't allow. There is no reason why contacts should be sending you any kind of notifications. It's an application to store contacts, not to give you notifications for them. And when it comes down to contacts notifications, it's not actually referring to each individual contact being able to give you notifications. It refers more to the application itself. Next, I do want to just kind of point out I am signed into Google account, and I do have contacts already imported in here that are stored on the Google account itself, which is where I now won't be really recommending to move your contacts to, but I'll get into that in a moment. And because I have a Google account, this will change the import a little bit if you don't. So first thing you will see different is when you go to Organize tab, which we need to, Google will take priority right here with all of their garbage right up front. Well, our option that we're looking for will be at the very bottom right here, Manage SIM. When you click on it, there's two possible options that you will see and how it's displaying it. The contacts application is basically looking the same, but when you go to import, I see two different things sometimes depending on the phone. And I don't know if this is based on an update to contacts application or something else, but you have one of these where you have a drop-down menu where it always selects Google account if there is one signed in by default. If it isn't, this option disappears altogether and defaults to the device at that point without keeping this option, as there is nothing for you to change to. Well, the second option will be somewhere below here, and it will tell you with a Google account signed in, it's going to be device and Google as one option, and below that there will be a second option, which is, I believe, other or something, or more. I think it says more. Now, if you don't have a Google account signed in, then instead of seeing the device and Google along with more, you will see device only being selected by default, or having the option to select it. Now, whichever you see option, I recommend changing it to the device only, like this, as this basically provides the people that these contacts belong to actual privacy and autonomy over their own information. So, if you look at it from a perspective, Google is being here a little piece of shit trying to snag information of people that have never consented to this. And they're being absolutely conniving about this because these absolute pieces of shit are at every step of the way trying to make you rely on them in hopes that you're going to import contacts to them, and they're taking every step so you do that in any ways, even when you don't want to. So for this drop down, it's obviously selecting the Google account by default. This is, if you have a Google account, that's what it's always going to select it. There is no way in the world it selects device, even when you would prefer that. If you have a Google account selected, you have to unchange it yourself. You know what, that's fine. It's a drop-down menu, you can change it. But what I find more problem with is with the menu that is at the bottom, which you might see, where instead it will give you the device and Google, which is designed to automatically confuse you. Because you look at it and you just read, oh, device, that's what that's what I need, boop, click, and I move on, right? And then what the hell could be more? Probably options, or usually you don't look for more options when you already see the one that you want, which is device followed by and Google, which again includes them. And then the audacity to hide just a single option behind an option, which barely expands this menu anymore, where it takes about this much of a screen, and then we have 2/3 left of the screen to actually expand on that option. There isn't lack of space right here to hide it away. Just pisses the shit out of me. So for all intents and purposes, select device only with that option at the bottom, and from there you can choose which contacts will be imported. Now, default wise, they will all be selected as long as they don't already exist in the location that you're importing into. With a small caveat is when you're doing the crap with device and Google, you decided that, I am gonna give away my friends and family's information without their permission, and you did that, that's just my personal preference, you can do whatever the hell you want. But if you choose that device and Google, if said contacts from the list on your SIM card already exist on, let's say, just a Google account, but not the device, then you can import all of them. They're just going to be imported to the device as they already exist on the Google side. Now, if they exist in both Google and the device, they become grayed out and deselected, and you can no longer select them yourself. So the phone or the application more like, is stopping you from duplicating these contacts. Now, from here, you can click on import, and I also started seeing another garbage that Google does, which is the pop-up right here, right when you import it, clear imported contacts or something along those lines, that contacts that haven't been imported won't be affected. So, or remove copies of imported contacts. I think that's how it's written. And that's another BS that Google is trying to do to basically make you rely on them more. So it is designed to try to get rid of your backup of contacts that is safely stored on a physical SIM card that I have in here, right? And they are trying to delete the contacts on your SIM card to, as they say, to clear space or clear storage, whatever they're describing it as. Now, why in the hell would I want to delete anything that is like my personal contacts on there on a storage that is designed to hold only contacts? I cannot put anything else on there. I have no reason to clear it. There is no possible explanation for me to try to delete contacts that I've imported from the card when the storage on that card is used only for those contacts. So it's just a way for you to try to get rid of your contacts that are physically stored on a physical medium, being your SIM card, that you can swap from phone to phone and have access to without relying on Google. So by deleting them, if something would ever happen to your contacts, well, Google will be here to save the day. By storing the contacts of people that never consented to it, monetizing that information, and creating ad profiles for those contacts. So they're basically going to data that everyone else needs to pay for, but they're getting it for free. And you're not seeing a penny of that revenue. So that's why I don't recommend doing this. Now, once you import your contacts, you can go back to your contact list right here, and you can see that our contacts should have been imported. Now we can quickly check if they have by clicking on this, and it tells me that on my device there are 3 contacts. And if I click on the device, it shows me these 3 contacts. Now, the reason I'm kind of talking about importing contacts primarily to the device and the data and all that stuff, even though right now it's just a freaking name and a number, is because of this. So typically you will probably add a little bit more info to this contact for ease of use. And that information can range from first, middle, last name, oh, this is a bit more extensive, company name, multiple numbers, notes, email, birthday, address where they live, labels, others, which has things like job titles, departments, related people, websites, custom fields, nicknames, and so on. So yeah, that's everything that Google will have access to. And I would say, how about no? So I feel like this is just a little bit too much, and too much of a personal information of people that this would belong to, for Google to basically utilize you as a patsy for skipping consent. Because instead of going to the source of this contact and asking, hey, whoa, could I get this info so I can sell it, and so you have no privacy? Instead, they're going to you, hey, don't you want to have copies of your contact stored in the cloud? Wink, wink. We also get access to it, but let's not mind that. So yeah, in any case, like I was saying before, I am specifically interested in importing to the device, but how you do it, it's up to you. Both ways work. For people that are maybe interested in importing contacts to the device for purpose of, protecting privacy and stuff like that, but do like to rely on the fact that, their contacts have a lot of information, opposed to what they usually look like on a SIM card, which is just a name and a number. So you kind of rely on the cloud for that because there's a lot more info in there. What you could potentially do is also just import them to the device and then download an application that allows you to create a backup file of your entire contacts list. And I believe the kind of backup is called something like the .vcf, meaning the extension of it. which then can be moved to an SD card or a flash drive, or even zipped up and emailed to yourself and opened up on any other device by just clicking on it. And I believe even computers read it. So from there you will have all that info, like the photos and all that other jazz. So this would kind of remove the need to rely on Google, while still giving you the ability to have all of your contacts along with all of that information behind the contact accessible on other devices relatively easily. So with that being said, I hope you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.